This is RPMMORadio.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
A podcast all about roleplay and MMORPGs.
I like what you got. Good job!
With your hosts, Ashen Phoenix, Sid, Jazz, Sibh'Bae, and Kishmas.
Everybody off. We need to go on a quick adventure.
Hello, RPers. Welcome to RPMMORadio. This is our 67th episode. The Great Debate and Vote with Your Time. Today we're going to have a lot of fun with a debate between all our presidential candidates. It's going to be a mockery of the debate structure and common sense everywhere, just like a real presidential debate. So I am one of your hosts, Ashen Phoenix, and with me, as always, is my crew, Jazz, Sib, and Sibh'Bae, and our moderator, call screener, Yunfei.
Hey, folks.
Hello.
Unfortunately, Kishmas could not be here because he was not invited. Not invited, no. His poll numbers are not high enough, so neither he nor his characters are welcome.
Ouch.
There's always one in every debate, in every local election. I wasn't invited to the debates, the guy, and he may even be a good one, but
that was Jism.
That's Jism. That's
Jism
just Jisms are. I mean, to be fair, he's kind of a Nazi, and
just kind of.
Just kind of like he's like diet Nazi, Just he's not quite killed 7 million people, but if he's given the opportunity, yeah, it could happen. Just saying, he's not a good guy. Not a good guy at all.
Not a good look either.
No, yeah, no look actually, because he never did get me that picture I asked for earlier. No look at all. So, we've got a whole good show coming up for you today, and before we get to that, I do want to thank all of our listeners tuning in live over at twitch.tv/RPMMORadio.
All. I was just emphasizing the all.
I was giving you the time to do that, but...
Oh. If you can't see me, I know you can't see me.
They can't see you.
My arms are like...
In fact, nobody can see anybody. There we go. Kicking on over to our neat little studio picture of moi, my big fat head. So, anyway, like I was saying, twitch.tv/RPMORadio. We do it live every Saturday, 7 Central Time. There are only a few episodes left in the year. It's November, so the fun part of the year is coming, guys. Joy and Christmas cheer for everybody. Love the holidays. It's so, at least the food's good. I like the food. Yeah.
Food's good.
Food's good.
Food's fun.
Food's good. Unfortunately,
but I could do without the rest of it.
Unfortunately, your family usually brings the food over, and that ruins the food. If we could have a holiday where my family would all come over bearing dishes of food and treats and sweets and cakes and pies, and then immediately go home, I think I would have the perfect holiday. In fact, I would like to have that happen year-round. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself.
I'm just looking forward to season 3. Hope I'm in it.
Why wouldn't you be?
I don't know.
Your polling numbers are good. I think you'll be fine.
Oh, really? Good. See, the boss is freaking me out though with this little.
Oh no! I just have. I got this pink slip caught in my throat. I swallowed it earlier. Don't worry about it. At the end of the year, by the way, when you have a little talk, bring a box.
I can show you where to. I will show you where to stick that box, boss.
With, I hope, sock puppets, as that's my only way of learning.
Very well.
All right.
That's what it is.
It's a date. So, and all of you out there listening on the podcast, you too are both good looking and awesome, and probably one of the most, I would say, Sib, would you say those listening on the podcast are probably one of the top 3 best role players on each of their servers?
I would say that.
Yeah, I would too.
I
would
would
too.
I would definitely say that. But I would have to say our Patreon donors are probably the top.
The top.
The
top
top.
one.
I mean, there is nobody above them. The top.
So the people that go to patreon.com/RPMMORadio, and especially those like the Truth Bob at the Raid Boss level, those guys, for example. Top tier.
T-O-P.
So they're like the gray goose of role players.
L-E-S-S. The top.
Without the L-E-S-S. Why would
Topless?
Yeah, I know. I got that part. Yeah,
Anyway.
I graduated the 4th grade too. It only took me 5 years.
No, you didn't. Don't lie to the listeners. Don't lie to the listeners.
I also want to thank XT Fuzzles for following us apparently 12 days ago, because this thing is super accurate and always on time. But appreciate you following us over at Twitch, which you too can do if you want to. Twitch.tv/RPMRadio. Do the little follow and like, and do that over at Apple iPod Tunes Cast thing.
Give us your souls.
But we appreciate everybody that even bothers at all listening to any of this whatsoever.
Yes.
So everybody had a fairly decent week. No bodily injury, loss of limbs.
No loss of pumpkins.
I was sick all week, but I got over it.
You are always sick all week.
No, I actually got a sore throat going to the doctor's office. Coming out Tuesday, and then I caught it. It's like, oh great, the blood.
I was fine going into the doctor's office. Luckily, all the people not covering their mouth and coughing around me. That's another story.
See, he sent me to the blood lab, and then in the waiting room, there were like 3 people deep stacked on top of each other, and they were all looking grim, and I was like, oh boy.
Don't worry, I won't cough into my elbow. I'll just cough straight into your face.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But today I'm feeling better.
That's good. You're looking good. I didn't want to say anything. You did look a little pale earlier in the week, but you're looking good now. You're looking a lot more yellow than usual.
Oh, good. I did my hair for you and everything.
Yeah. That yellow,
Really?
that yellow Simpsons like jaundice color of you high elves is really coming through. You almost look like a normal human being there earlier in the week, but now that jaundice is really hitting in there.
Gotta have my Altmer glory showing.
The golden fury of the Altmer glory. I never claimed to be a poet.
Nor should you.
Nah, poetry's stupid.
I do, Jess.
Which is why we never see him at our.
Yes.
Which is why we never see him at the poetry hour.
No.
True. And the one time I do go, it's usually a funny poem written by one of the greatest poets of all time. I think everyone can agree. Weird Al Yankovic.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. How's your musical career been going for the last 30 years, Jazz?
I don't have a musical
Exactly.
I don't think he does really either. I mean,
and his hair, glorious.
He has comedy, and he's one of my husband's favorites.
That's because your husband is a man of sophisticated tastes.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go with that.
All right.
Since he's listening, hi, honey.
Hey, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
What's
What's going on, Tin Trolls?
What you wearing, babe? Sounds hot. All right. So before we get into our debate.
Debate.
Like, what are we baiting?
We're gonna. Whatever.
Are we masters?
We could be masters. We could be masturbators. I don't know.
Of course, you guys that take it there.
Well, yeah, doy. Yeah, I guess we'll go. We haven't done it the last 2 weeks, so I guess I'm still on my dry spell of no role play.
I is too.
Though I'm thinking I'll probably try to kick it back in this week. Things are finally on the up and up. Halloween's over, which was great. Scared kids, scared parents. Would have gotten punched in the head if I hadn't thought ahead and used a fake dummy head. But, because kids are assholes. But they're fun assholes to scare. So, I guess we'll go ahead and see what everyone else has been doing in roleplay. So, let's go ahead and go with whoever has wrote down the most in what they've done in roleplay this week in the outline.
Sounds
whoever that is, go ahead and start up.
I hate you so much.
Oh, look, it's Jazz.
Oh my God, is it you, Jazz?
Yes.
I didn't even look. I didn't even look when I thought of that. No. That's crazy. Huh. Well, I guess, if that's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
That's how it rolls, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we get her.
Yeah.
That's how we get her.
Yeah. You're hilarious. Okay. So, let's see. In roleplay this week, it was kind of slow because we were still doing the holiday stuff. So a lot of my time online was spent trying to get the achievement so that I could buy the house with actual gold and not real cash. That Halloween house, the witch's place. Which I did. I got it. And
Well, congrats.
I will have to eventually decorate it, but I was pissed that I didn't have it because I have a character that's like a necromancer, and I think she'd really like that place, so that's probably where she'll end up. I don't RP her much. I did not get to RP on Zasher much. Again, he's kind of shelved, although I did speak to some people in the servants to try to figure out if there's any place for him or if I just need to quietly fade into the woodwork. Yeah. So we're going to try a couple things. But I spent most of my time on Sildreni and Kia, although I did spend a lot of time on Sia this week in the evenings for an hour or two going to the Grifton Tavern and just RP with people. Trolls were low. Shocking, I know. And there was actually a decent amount of decent RP there. So it was nice and it was fun. Made a couple of new friends. We'll see, if they stick around or if they were just, temporarily joining the game. It's hard to tell. Mm-hmm. On Sildreni, which is where most of my RP is right now, which is the Telvanni, there's been some intrigue, shock, and surprise. And there's been Sildreni handling that information and also having meetings with people about learning things and finding out things, and some new members that are trying to join. And while it does sound a little dull, it's not. I actually love that kind of RP. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah. And with Kia, I've been able to introduce a couple of new members, meet with them and talk to them. So that's always fun. We're slowly getting some new people again as we get an influx. I've noticed there's a lot of guilds are getting some new people. So it's just more, I think there's been an influx of role players, and so everybody's getting a few. Yeah. Which is the normal thing. And then we're heading into the holiday doldrums, folks. So please don't panic. Your guild's not dying. Not mine, not theirs. No one's guild is dying.
No, it's not true.
This is
Roleplay is gone. It's never going to happen again.
I see it. Our destiny.
Failing guild. Failing.
We always know this happens for the holidays. So this is my
what could possibly pull people away during the season of giving and family? Oh, God. My stories.
It never fails. People are always upset around this time of year.
You're not wrong. No, every damn year. Every year
it happens, and every year we tell them the same thing, and every year we have at least 2 or 3 people that leave or wander off because they think the guild is dying, and they're absolutely convinced no matter what we tell them. This is normal. This is the holiday doldrums.
And then they come back February 1st when they checked in partway through January, and it was like, oh...
Well, look, everybody's back, huh? Oops. Yeah, so just as my little note for everybody, this is the holiday doldrums. This is normal. Do not panic.
Said that like 4 times.
I like that warning.
Well, because do you know how many times I've had to say this
yearly?
In a row to people? Yearly.
I know.
I like the last 10 years.
I'm aware.
If I don't repeat myself at least 4 times, they don't hear me. So one more time.
Jess, what'd you say? Can you repeat that?
Wait, what? Let me clean up my good ear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
switch your headphones over to double.
so while I don't usually see much of a dip because I have friends that I know always role play, overall I always see this, and so I always feel the need to say, okay, everybody, it's just normal.
Yeah. Well,
See y'all in February when all the kids come back to school and get settled, and then they're ready to go
it's
again.
usually new role players, but even like not necessarily all of them, even the 5-10-year-old ones that just don't see the pattern, they just forget. It's easy.
It's easy to forget that this is the time, because I would say at least a third, if not a half, of all role players either go to school or involved in school. They're teachers, they're bus drivers, they're involved in the school system.
Yeah.
So when the holidays are around and things are either, sports are picking up, holiday stuff is picking up, everybody's getting busy making plans, making arrangements, and so we see less we see less people logging on until about February, and it picks up again. And then it starts up again, and then doldrums pick up about
Summer.
second week of May, and it goes until about the end of July. So these are the normal swing. Okay, this has been your public service announcement. Thank you.
5 times in a row.
Very nice.
Hey.
Very nice.
She's a mom. You have to understand that kids are dumb and they have to be told things over and over.
And she's got boys, okay?
That are extra dumb. Boys are
we have
extra
one
dumb.
boy, and oh my gosh. I totally understand your pain,
Jazz, you've got one that's our age. Probably, I think maybe a little older, and another one in the middle. So when they ask you a question and then you immediately answer it, and then 3 minutes later they ask you that question again, how little hair do you have left?
At this point, after 2 boys who are now 16, almost 16, and 14, and my 8-year-old has just started the 8-9-year-old preteen thing. So my husband the other day was like, he's starting. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Dig in. We can make it.
Just one more time.
Yeah, one more time. 8 to 10. And then it's 12 to 14. And then it's 15 to 16. You have these little gaps. But other than that, once you get to 16, I'm told it starts tapering off at that point.
We knew better than do that to Mother Shala. She was scary, I'm just going to say. She had 3...
Well, our one, I can tell him to do something, like take out the trash.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can get in his face and say, take out the trash. And like 5 seconds later, he'll look at me with this blank face and go, what'd you say?
I know. Yeah,
are you
I
serious?
Do too. Yeah. It makes you twitch, but it's my 14-year-old. He's just turned 14, so we have one more year, and then we'll have this wonderful year between 15 and 16 when they're responsible.
Because they want to drive.
Yeah, and then when they're 16 to 17, they go through a little blip of that, and then apparently we're done. So we're almost done with Xander.
This has been the RPMMO Parenting Time, brought to you by Jazz.
This is good for people who role play being teenagers, and they may have forgotten what this is like.
Yeah,
I see what you tried to do there. You still fail, but okay.
She brought it full circle.
No, she didn't fail.
So speaking of failures, Sibh'Bae, what have you been doing on roleplay?
No, now be nice.
Speaking of winning.
I didn't know how else to transition it. I'm just trying to get him back on topic.
He's always got to burn it. He's always got to burn his protege. I don't know what the deal is.
That's right. Yeah, I strengthen him like steel through fire and pain.
That's right. That's when he lashes next time, bro.
So did you have time to do anything this week since you weren't feeling great?
Yeah, I logged in. We didn't do poetry night, did we? No, because no one showed up. That's right.
No one showed up because it was still holiday stuff.
Well, it was the day before Halloween, too.
He showed up.
The day before Halloween. Nobody was going to.
Strandrick showed up.
Excuse me.
And we just started chatting, this and that about nothing and everything. And then Delatore showed up. Of course, and the question was, why do you have your face covered? Oh, I've done a magical spell. It's gone horribly awry. It can't be that bad. No, I look fairly ugly. To which Trask said something effective. Hell, Doll, you were always ugly. Just slap a little more Balmora paint on there. You should be fine.
Did it end up being like when in Ready Player One in the movie where it's like, with the girl, I'm hideous. I have a birthmark. Oh, don't look at me. It's just a simple birthmark. Half the time you think it's a shadow. Oh, I'm ugly. How could anyone love me? It's
now, it was more of the arcane zombie look. But on him, he made him look like he was formerly a Dunmer who transitioned back to a Chimer. And I was like, oh, hey, you look like your ancestors. Yeah. You're moving back up in the world, Trap. He goes, I do look like a Chimer. I should have to research this. So there was a little bit of that. Anya showed up. And as you know, Trath and Voli have been redoing the house. And so Trath showed off her new room. Of course, she couldn't stop there. She had to explore everything. She's like, I want to see your room. Trath's like, that's my wing. Don't go up there. Of course, she went up there anyway. Even after showing her the bathhouse, that wasn't enough. Oh, this private bath. I'll show up to use this later. To which Trath said, no, you really won't. This is my wing. I'll use it later, cousin. And then she checked out her room. Oh, the room is perfect for your children to be in. Trath's like, get out of here, Anya. Get out of here now.
Yeah, it was hilarious. What a perfect place to conceive the fruit of your loins to be brought to life. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Oh, how funny.
Because she's so terrible. She's very high elf, and I love it.
So, ADD moment. Do you think fruit of your loins is where they got the term for fruit of the loom for the underwear?
I wonder.
Yes, it is, actually.
Probably.
That's what I wondered. Yeah. All right. Carry on.
The rest of the week was spent tabber crawling, talking to Sia, watching her pick fights, deciding that I was better than that place and leaving early.
It was fun, too. She came really close to picking a fight. I tried really hard, too. Last minute, they came to their senses. Sadly.
Nerds. So.
Other than that, it was small encounters and, guild stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That day.
What about you, Sib? Did you ever log in this week? I can't remember.
No, not with work and the
that's right. You've been
Halloween.
Training. Yeah.
Yeah. I was only supposed to train my new sub 3 days.
Oh, wait, you mean, never mind.
Wrong kind of sub, Jazz.
Yeah, different sub. Not the sandwich or the master submissive thing you're thinking of.
Oh, sorry.
He's not a sandwich artist.
I will say he's 21 and he's from Puerto Rico and
go girl
fluent Spanish and oh my god, it's like I could listen to you for hours.
Yeah, I know, right? They have a wonderful.
And she's already seen his underwear. What was on it?
That was on really it, bad. Okay. Funny story.
It's a good story. That's the only reason I'm letting her go with this tangent.
Okay. You know how young kids can't keep their pants up? They wear them saggy. Okay. So my supervisor comes over and she's making like these weird eyes at me and I'm like, what is she doing? They're like, what the hell is she doing? Because she's like looking at something and like getting wide eyes, you know the drill.
Like look.
Yeah, like look. Anyway,
dirty old lady look.
I just totally blew it off. And I was like, what was wrong with her? Why was she doing that? So about 30 minutes later, he is bent over and his pants are almost all the way down around his butt. And he's got, this is horrible and I'm so embarrassed, but he's got little potatoes on his roots. And it says twice baked. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't stop giggling. And if please, I hope he's not listening.
Yeah, I'm sure he's listening right now.
He's a really, really nice guy. So, but no, it was super.
I wonder if he gets them. I've heard a lot of podcast sponsors. It's a place called MeUndies. They sell like really expensive but very comfortable underwear, but it comes with crazy patterns on it. Like there's one like pepperoni pizzas or like sushi or twice baked potatoes. That's why I'm wondering if it was something weird like that.
Probably.
So, but yeah, twice baked underwear.
But no, I trained for 2 weeks and did that, and then with Halloween, I just haven't been able to even get near my computer. But now I'm done with training, and hopefully I will be able to come back I want to come back.
We
I want to
miss
have
you.
fun.
Yeah.
I miss
We
you guys.
miss you.
I miss you guys so much. I'm stuck with Ashen, okay? I just miss you guys so much. Take me
Ouch,
back.
dang.
Take me back. Okay, I'm done.
If I had feelings, I'm sure they would be activated right now, but I don't care.
No, you got no feelings.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this debate on the show. On the road. Anyway, I'm going to go with it.
Road on the show.
Rohanar was going to be one of our other moderators, but unfortunately he is feeling less than optimal, is a good way of putting it. So we're going to have moderator Yunfei. Yunfei.
Hello.
Now, we expect you to be fair and balanced and also one-sided and definitely already have a candidate you're going to be pitching for and throw questions badly to all the others and not back up or research anything, just as a real moderator in a modern debate would do.
Also, so Yunfei, what have you done in roleplay this week?
Oh, Unifei.
Oh, this and that. I've been playing a lot of Secret World, and I joined a...
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I joined a roleplay Discord.
Cool.
Nice.
Thus far, it's been very quiet, but we'll see how it goes.
That's cool.
Still got pending roleplay for you in Order of Aldmerith. Just saying.
I know.
Dead silence.
Silence.
Yep.
All
Ain't going
right.
back.
Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and we'll go and get our presidential candidates all ready and out on the stage, and we'll throw this over to the moderator, Yunfei. It's all yours.
All right. First, I'd like to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to the great debate. First, we have a few announcements. Due to low results in the polls, Jism Reich IV will not be attending. Complimentary tea and cake will be served in the cafeteria after the debates. Sorry, no summons or vanity pets allowed. Would the owner of a brown spotted horse with a purple saddle please return to your vehicle? Your lights are on. And no, don't ask me to explain that. Also, don't forget the Halfling Chops raffle. We will be drawing a lucky winner tonight. And now, let's meet the panelists. First, we have Lucan Delir of Freeport.
Greetings.
Next, we have Antonia Bale of Kinos.
Greetings and welcome.
And next, Penelope Bellows of... Well, to be honest, I'm not really sure.
Oh, I'm from everywhere. And thank you for that lovely, lovely introduction.
You're very welcome. And Arthur Maxim of the Brotherhood of...
Steele's greetings to you all.
I am moderator Yunfei, and I'll be asking the questions this evening. The panelists will have 2 minutes to answer. If the audience has any questions, please feel free to post them in chat, and we'll choose which ones to ask. It's an exciting night, folks. The air at tonight's event is electric. Quite literally, as I see, Mr. Delir has summoned some sort of storm elemental. Mr. Delir, management asks that you please refrain from attempting murder while the debate is session. Thank you.
You do not command me, moderator.
Oh, stop it.
Silence!
Typical dictator.
Just like him to bring out some flashy thing.
You're just
Okay,
upset because nothing has been flashed your way in ages.
And how would you know that? You need to be nicer.
You don't even know your own name.
What?
I'm just going to say, that's not what I heard.
And here we have a rose galleries of fools trying to take...
Need a lozenge.
Well, on that note, Miss Bale and Mr. Delir, how do you respond to rumors that you have engaged in relations during this campaign?
False!
How completely ridiculous. My skin isn't nearly dark enough.
Racist. The end.
Thank you for your answers.
Sorry, I was having a moment.
All right, this is a question for all of the panelists. What is your policy on taxation and how that coin is spent?
Oh, I will happily go first. On taxation, I think everybody should pay just a small amount, like just a couple cents. And what was the other half of the question?
How would you spend it? How could you vote for a woman that can't remember what was said only moments ago?
Mr. Candelier, you're just being rude.
Commanding is the word.
Can I
Forceful.
Moderator, can I please finish my answer?
Please.
Yes.
Mr. Delir, once again, you are not the moderator.
Apologies.
I would happily spend it to make sure everybody is able to play their games happily and with lovely, lovely companions beside them.
Well, that's a wonderful answer. Thank you.
Thank
what
you.
about you, Mr. Maxim?
We in the Brotherhood of Steel do not believe in taxation. We believe in fair barter. For instance, we will maintain a constant supply of aqua pure to you in exchange for whatever you have in excess. With that comes increased patrols to your realm, security, and prosperity for each group. Silence, you dictator.
My, temper, boys.
What about you, Bale?
I have no problem with taxes as long as they are fair and not taxing to the people who have to pay it. And I would spend it so that role players would have a safe and free environment in which to express themselves.
In other words, she's going to tax you into oblivion.
I did not say that.
You didn't need to, darling.
Oblivion is in another game.
Really? That's what you're doing, Lucan? Really? Wow.
It is true.
Miss Moderator, I really think you should tell Mr.
Delir!
to quit interrupting people. He's just being
It is
so
quite rude.
I am only helping you pronounce words that you should have learned at the age of 4. As for me,
You should have
I
learned manners
believe
at the age of 4. You're just so very
at the
rude.
age of 4, I was killing my first man for the freedom of my city.
You
Like
were
I-
not.
You were not learning
I
manners.
remember it differently.
I'm sure you do. It's very helpful right now, isn't it?
Was that before or after you struck your little deal with the Dark Elves in your realm?
Quiet, man who eats rat burgers.
That's all you got? Really? Well, carry on then.
So as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I believe in taxation at a fair, flat rate of 10%, all the proceeds of which go to things of import in my city and in the realm of roleplay, roads, bridges, and teaching people to properly roll their R's.
And I'm sure you're also going to spend that money on finding you a nice, pretty little companion. every dictator does. Isn't that right, Maxon?
I do not have to
According to the
pay
rumors.
Hot Jessica anything. She comes willingly to my bed.
Oh
Those
my!
are lies! Oh my gosh! I cannot even believe you. You soiled my sweet, sweet Jessica's name.
Multiple times.
As much as my bosses are enjoying the mudslinging here, let's move on to the next question. We have all heard all of you claim that you will uphold some sort of order in the realms. What are your policies regarding trolls and PKers?
I personally find them completely and absolutely ridiculous. They should be rounded up and removed from the city, where they can entertain themselves outside, where they cannot harm anyone but themselves.
I must say, I completely agree with Mrs. Bells. I think they should be rounded up and maybe even take a step further and give them their own server or their own game to play where they could beat up on each other and troll each other. Though I don't think that's much fun for them.
I would confine each and every one of them to the Asian MMO market, where they will ceaselessly and endlessly grind for levels, yet never reach the same path as their Asian counterparts, thus always being beaten like a red-headed stepchild who is fat and stole Twinkies from their equally fat parents.
You truly are a very rude individual. Do you know that?
It is not
People
enough.
like it.
It is not enough to simply stop these trolls and player killers. You must round them up. You must find their source, their guild leader, take them out, round up the followers, send them to the realm of Oblivion to see which ones actually can be redeemed. If they can be redeemed, they can go through re-education and integrate with the roleplay community. Those that can't, we can dump those on Call of Duty. They got plenty of trolls.
I believe that Fortnite would be far more accurate a place to place them. It is a land and a sea of endless virginity and hopelessness.
I have to say, Mr. Maxon, you, that is definitely something I could hear you saying, seeing how is one of your main backers was once a troll himself.
Exactly. So you would condemn them all when there are some to be redeemed.
Condemn them all, I say.
Well, there you are.
Condemn
And there's the
them
true dictators,
all.
role players, right before you.
See, the answers have been quite passionate. Shall we move on to our next question?
I think that's an excellent idea.
Please, madam.
Proceed.
All right. At work, when do you feel you are at your best?
I shall take this one first. I am at my best when I am ruling for the people, by the people, and to the people, bringing them free of the yoke of oppression and giving them the freedom to fail or succeed on their own behalf without interference from the weak minds, the giant jugs, or the rat burgers of the others.
I am at my best bright and early in the morning when the sun breaks into the sky and spreads joy and purity to a brand new day, when we can reach out to our brothers and sisters and help each other succeed again
Call of
for
the
a new day.
storm!
It's my turn to talk. You can
You
be
go
quiet.
ahead. I was just summoning a storm. There
Quiet.
we go.
Mr. Delir, we've talked about this.
Apologies!
But yet you're still doing it! How about you stop?
Apologies!
Ugh.
Well, I guess I will go next. I am at my best when I have all my lovely role players around me, when we are able to converse, plan, scheme, and just act out some very fun and enjoyable RP. Yes.
Perhaps in a room with a small group for 4 to 8 hours.
Oh yes, yes. That is so much fun, and who would not be happy with that?
People that do not ERP like you do, Trollop.
Dictators and ERPers. I'm at my best when I'm coordinating troop movements, supplies to other realms, overseeing security for the various settlements that are under my control, and making sure we are free of raiders, trolls, player killers.
Exactly. You said it perfectly.
Then why do we need
under
you
your
here?
control. You are controlling freak that eats rat burgers.
I control only the troops that sign up willingly under my banner.
But controlling you are.
Every army needs a general, darling.
Oh my.
And me as president, I'll make sure that you are free of these controlled dictators. I'll control my men and not you.
Well, that sounds lovely.
It does, doesn't it?
Excellent.
I almost think that Miss Bells got excited on that one.
How would you know, darling?
We can see your nipples.
Okay, next question.
Excuse me?
Your bikini bra armor is very tight, and the air conditioning is quite low in here.
Then
Okay.
you're looking, I would assume.
I am not blind, woman.
Well, only in one eye. Anyway, name 3 negative traits that someone close to you would say you possess. I have a feeling I know what Mr. Delir is going to say, so please, go ahead.
My oversized vocabulary, my thoughtful way of speaking, and the fact that I have only the one eye. That is the only negative thing about me. Everything else is fine.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Because
Oversized vocabulary.
He must be compensating for something.
I agree,
no-
my dear.
Pay no mind to the slum districts around his city that serve his every whim.
those districts are put there to give people a chance to rise up. Discord and challenge breeds better people. You coddle them, you give them everything they wish, and they become fat and lazy, and they weave flowers into their hair. You, a man who grew up on the wastelands of a horrible begotten earth, should know that without trial, steel cannot be forged.
Oh, I completely agree.
Then
But
why
my
do
men
we
serve-
need you here? You
My
can
men
go.
serve willingly. They do not serve a dictator.
My goodness.
Well, I have to say that my three traits would be: I'm too trusting, I'm too generous, and I just
Are a puppet for hot Jessica?
Complete agreement.
no. Oh no! Oh my gosh, my heart my heart.
That's understanding that you had one.
I have too big of a heart. That would be my third one. Oh, I just
You
can't
should
believe
have a doctor.
you're being
Look at
so-
that.
You're being so mean to me.
Oh, and now the tears. Let them fall, for they will strengthen me.
I will not give you such a pleasure.
That's not what Hot Jessica said.
Oh my. Well, if I had to come up with 3 things that people would say is a flaw in me, I would say it is probably my kind heart and that I tend to be too generous. The third thing would be that I probably show too much skin, but I have a very warm body temperature and I am required to stay cool by wearing little. It is a burden that I must live with.
Ha.
Wow. What can you say to that? That's just wow.
It sounds like her medical plans are not all up to snuff if they cannot fix her overheating problem.
There's nothing wrong with being overheated unless you lack the equipment to fix it. Like you, Lucan.
My flaming sword is hard and rigid, and it will bring down fire and pain or
Then you do not know. You have not
upon
learned how to use it.
all.
And you need some lessons on how to use your sword because, well, you're missing the point.
You
Literally.
grip it with two
must
firm
agree.
hands.
I must agree.
Oh my goodness.
Spells from what I hear from.
And there's
you've
still
been
plenty
saying,
left
Hot
to
Jessica.
go.
That's not an image I needed. Can we move on?
Tooting his own horn, I must say.
It is
Aside from this
possible.
massive mockery, the only 3 things that I would say are negative about me is I'm obsessive for results. To the benefit of my men, I'm dedicated, sometimes overly too dedicated. And I have
That's
a penchant, to sharing the water of life with any and all, when I could charge through the nose, but I don't.
By the way, when he says water of life, it's just water. Something all the other realms just have laying about.
I have to say,
Fools do not have irradiated water like we do.
you keep talking about your men, but what about our peers? They are more important than your men. We are here to give them the best that we have to give.
Of course they are.
And yet, you keep saying, my men, I'm out for my men.
Sexist! Where are the women?
Exactly.
Don't
We've
agree
put-
with me. It only cheapens what I say.
We have plenty of women in my ranks. We have Star Cross Paladin. We got Elder Scribe Nariah. We have plenty of women. That's not the problem. I obsess over my men because they do the dirty work so our role players can enjoy their time online and not have to deal with the idiocy that surrounds all of us. Like you find it.
Mm-hmm. As you say.
Hey,
Ah.
I'm not the one arguing about flaming swords and heat waves set on by early menopause.
I'm not either.
I believe you just did.
Just pointing out the obvious.
Well, speaking of things all the realms have, what is your most precious commodity?
Yeah.
I'll answer that. My most precious commodity is the RPers. Without them, what would I even be running for? Why would I be wasting my time with these blatant liars and losers? I would just go back. But for the RPers of the multiverse, I am here sacrificing myself for them.
And you do it so humbly.
Well, of course I do.
That was a joke.
Well, next time maybe you could change your tone a little so I would know.
I did change my tone. Did you not hear it? There was a little, funny at the end.
No.
I will go next. I will say that the most precious commodity in my kingdom are the people, the role players, and the NPCs that work together and create roleplay to enjoy for all.
Yes. I believe it is not just the role players. Our greatest commodity is freedom. The freedom to be what you wish to be. The freedom to interact with whom you wish to interact with. And, of course, the freedom to no longer allow pay-to-win models and loot boxes that do not give the chances for winnings. That is our commodity. Freedom.
Our most precious commodity is each other, our communities we serve, and the teamwork we fostered between all of us. If you guys want to go ahead and vote for these cult of personalities, be my guest. But you can clearly see what they're going to do with the realms.
Funny that all of you talked about freedom and your people when you're all dictators.
I'm a general, ma'am. You're an airhead.
I am not a dictator. I am a queen. I am loved and supported by all. And now they will be able to vote for me as well. And I will still win.
If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it must be a duck.
She did introduce giant ducks as mounts.
And that's a fantastic segue into our next question. If you were an animal, what would you be and why?
I would be an eagle, so that I may fly like one. Swift, virtuous, and once I set my eye upon a target, that target will be no more. Also, I am a big fan of the song. The end.
Oh my. If I were an animal, I think I would be a glorious, strong, passionate horse, a stallion to ride and carry role players to their dream destination.
Mr. Maxon, are you going to go, or shall I?
Ladies first.
Then you should go first.
Anyway, I would be a lion because they are proud, majestic, and they fear nothing. They fight for what is theirs, which is our peers. They are ours, our people, our blood, the thing that makes the world go round. Without them, there would be no multiverse to even try to win.
I don't got time to pretend to be an animal. I have too much to look after, too much to have to coordinate, too much to work.
You're wearing a bear.
Excuse me?
Your fur! It is of bear stock! You would be like a bear. It is a very easy question to answer.
It's a flight
But
jacket.
yet, you do not.
All right.
Miss Moderator, may I have some water, please?
Of course.
Thank you. You're so kind. So kind.
Yeah, the bosses said I was too nice for this job, but that's okay. All right. Next question. Finish this sentence by filling in the blank. Most people I meet are blank.
In this room, fools.
Most people I meet are interesting and go-getting people. Yes.
If by go-getting you mean they lie on their back all day.
I just don't understand what you are insinuating, sir.
You run a brothel!
No, I run a very well-established...
Brothel!
No! My heart! My heart! I don't know if I can take much more.
Bail! She requires your city's healing, if there's any money left to support it.
I believe the answer to that question would be, would you read it again, please? He got me all distracted.
Of course, Miss Bale. Finish this sentence by filling in the blank. Most people I meet are blank.
Most people I meet mean well, and they just need a helping hand to get up and reach their potential.
Maxim, speak!
Will you stop telling people what to do?
I know,
Get
right?
used to it.
You're wasting your breath. He's a dictator. Most people I meet are just trying to survive day to day. I try to help them where I can. If they can work with us, they fall in line, and we all prosper.
If I was a dictator, I would be known as Richard or Mr. Tater, but my name is Lucandelier, so I cannot be a dictator.
More like
Can
you
I?
can't.
Shut up, Maxie.
I rather like that, Mr. Maxon.
You would. You're a woman of low intelligence.
Mr.
The man is clearly sexist, and he just comes out of his own mouth.
All right. Well, Mr. Delir,
Yes.
you may claim you're not a dictator, but you could be half of that. Anyway, what song?
We just stop calling him Kent.
Oh my! I like her.
I am a tater and a fan of them. She is not wrong.
Not the portion she was discussing. Speaking of someone who was supposed to be intelligent.
I choose to
Very
remember
well
it
said, Mrs. Bell.
differently. Next question.
What song best describes your work ethic?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What song best describes your work ethic?
I'll go first. If you don't mind. I have to say, the song that best describes my work ethic would be the Humpty Dance. Yes. That would be it.
What was it called?
The what?
The Humpty Dance. It says it all in the first 4 lines. All right, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
Oh my.
I cannot unhear that.
Nor can I.
Or C. Well, I'll go next. The song that I've always felt talks most about me and about my work ethic would be called The Dancing Queen by ABBA. They are wonderful bards. I can highly recommend them. They are quite imaginative.
Indeed, Maxim. Do you
No,
even have songs where you're from that weren't from the 1950s?
Sure I do. But let's let the dictator go first. Please.
Very well, as it should be. If I were a dictator. But I'm not. Because I'm not. If I had a song that described my work ethic, I believe it would be best summed up in Michael Jackson's Beat It. Because that is what I do. Beat everything before me. Something, 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 believe it.
Just like a dictator.
Okay. You may go now.
Are you sure?
I do not know many other songs that aren't by Michael Jackson.
Mine would be
Billie
way back
Jean
home.
does not make sense. He's just a girl who said that he was the one. But the kid was not his son. Carry on.
Wow.
I'm just speechless. I'm just seeing if how long he's going to go.
I don't know what to say. I don't
It
know.
would not be the first time.
Oh, Mr. Cat. You're just so rude.
Mine would be way back home by the Bobcats.
I did not know that cats could sing that were not Khajiit, or whatever those ugly ones in Kinos are.
It's Bob Crosby and the Bobcats. It's a singing number. Get with the program.
Again, songs that aren't from the 1950s.
Well, there's this one little ditty by the Scorpions called Rock You Like a Hurricane, which I will, Lucan, rock you like a freaking hurricane.
Yes, well, I also knew a little ditty about Jack and Diane. Two American
my.
kids. I believe they lived in the heartland. That is all.
I have to say, I am impressed.
Indeed.
All right, moving on to the next question. If you could have a beer with one historical figure, who would it be and why?
We're waiting, Maxim.
The question is open to the panel.
Any historical figure. I believe I
Well,
go
do
down.
gods count?
Well, if they are in history.
I suppose they are part of history.
Okay. Please go, Maxim. I wouldn't want to interrupt you. I apologize.
Oh no, ladies first.
Ooh. Well, I would say I would love to meet with Tunari and just have tea
It's
and
pronounced
talk.
Tunar, you twit.
Tunari. It
One
depends
of
on
them is
who you talk
correct,
to.
and then the other one is what you say.
Anyway, I would love to meet with her and have tea and talk. I think it would be illuminating.
Yes. I believe of all the historical figures in all of the realms, dead or alive, I would want to speak with Emperor Palpatine. A man,
Please do elaborate.
a vision, a man of forthrightness, a man who took chaos and brought order to a galaxy. That is a man you could learn a thing or two from. Also, I hear he makes a mean kebab.
Again, a dictator.
No, he was an emperor. It's in the title.
Mr. Delir, I have a quick follow-up question for you.
Please.
Are you sure you would want to speak and take advice from someone who doesn't know what a guardrail is?
That They know full well what guardrails are, but do you know how much money they saved on a station as big as a moon by not including them? With that money, they opened up the daycare within the Death Star. It was fantastic.
Daycare?
There was a daycare with that many men and women of the Empire serving on the station. What do you think they would do? Separate them from their families like you do?
Me?
No,
You think like you do?
No dark elves allowed,
We allow dark elves that prove their loyalty and honor.
We are talking about dark elves.
And some of them have proven to be very honorable. It does happen from time to time. You probably wouldn't know that, considering the ones that you lay down with.
Are very attractive. Yes.
I'd want to go back and talk to President Richardson and see how he fouled things up so bad for the outcome of my world. And also thank him for liberty.
I would say it was when he went with the nuclear option.
But that's the question. No one really knows who struck first. That would be the first question I ask.
So adult.
You got to know your history, or you're doomed to repeat it. Just saying, kids.
I would like to go back and speak to Emmett Doc Brown. He was a man before his time. The things he accomplished, the things he showed Mr. McFly. He showed him several new worlds. So yes, I would like to sit down and have a nice conversation with him, as I, too, am an intellectual.
I heard he was a pedophile.
I believe we found his bones out in the Great Empty. In a wrecked car. Sorry, darling.
That's why we're going back, Mr. Maxon, if you don't remember the question.
My throat was dry.
Probably from all that blubbering over there.
There is not an ounce of blubber upon my form. Unlike you wrinkled old bag.
Oh, my. I don't know how much more I can take of
we
this.
get it, sea cow.
Mrs. Moderator, could I possibly take a few minutes and have my wonderful Miss Jessica step in here for me? I need to sit down.
She needs her puppet master to take over.
I mean, of course.
Oh, you're so
Finally, the real
Jessica.
power.
Jessica.
The power behind the puppet.
Yes, please take over for me. I don't understand why you two are being so hard on Mrs. Bellows.
Gormal Dierfair called and said he left your purse in his truck.
That troll. He's fun to ride around with. But he can only show a girl a good time for so long.
Ha! His penis is soft.
Oh my! You did not just say that, Lucan! What is the matter with you?
She inferred it.
Once a dictator, always a dictator.
Accent on dick. You need to stop.
Yes, accent on dick.
Hello again, Jessica.
And what was your name? I'm sorry. I've already forgot.
Interesting. You screamed it enough. I'm pretty sure you remember when you're not acting the fool.
Shall we continue on with this?
Please!
Oh my, yes. Let's have a bit of a lighter question. It's Sunday, and you need to unwind after a long week of lording or ladying over your people. What do you do to relax? And a follow-up, Miss Jessica, are you free this Sunday, and what are your feelings toward nerdy moderators?
Oh, I guess I'll answer first.
Clearly.
Love nerdy moderators. And yeah, I could make time this Sunday. As for the question, I myself like to go and cook a nice, juicy steak and then spend hours eating it.
Gross.
That is what she said.
Oh my.
I like to watch the body piles burn after the battles against my enemies, so that we can spread freedom farther and farther across the realm. Also, Bomba gets first pick. The end.
I like an ice cold Nuka-Cola, stacking Raider heads, player killer heads. And trying to keep the high score from my general.
My. Well, I'm rather boring. When I want to relax after a long, long day, I release my bonds of my outfit. I slide into a warm bubble bath and have some wine. It's very relaxing. Oh, yes.
And she plays with her kitty.
Well, I do like my kitty. You didn't seem to mind so much either when you were a young man, as I hear rumor.
You confuse me.
It's not difficult.
Miss Bells, anytime you need somebody to wash your back, I'll be happy to come over and lend a hand.
Neat.
I like that idea. Ooh. Yes, let's discuss that sometime. Now,
yes.
were we?
Listen to the life of the 1%. Go on and on about stuff that doesn't matter.
Okay. Does the panel need to take
Spoken
5?
by someone with their own flying ship.
This coming from two men that talk about stacking bodies.
Hey, I got to give to Lucan. At least he's doing something constructive with his kingdom, kind of like me. Killing the near to.
I have built an entire kingdom. I have done many things.
And play with your kitty, apparently.
Well, everyone has to relax at some point. Are you going to say that?
Have a poison pond just outside your walls, and radioactive shards of a moon in your drinking water, none of which you have ever bothered to clear.
That is untrue. We simply have bound it with magic so it can't bother anybody.
Project Purity can clean that up. Clean that right up. Vote for me.
No. Carry on.
Oh my.
Okay. Again, keeping with the lighter question, would you rather fight one horse-sized goose or 100 goose-sized horses? And why?
Personally, I would rather fight 100 of them because I can cast wide and decimate completely.
I would find the origin of this genetic engineering monstrosities and kill the source, for without which hundreds more tiny goslings may roam the country and come over it like a pack of fluffy little locusts. And more than likely, I would just make the large horse-sized goose amount to go with the giant duck.
Oh my.
3 words. Scorched earth policy.
Is that your answer to everything? Just kill it?
I am
Works
just
quite well.
surprised he could count to 3.
Don't you got a sword to stick somewhere, buddy?
Usually.
It's more like a dagger.
Oh, that is what she said.
I have one of those too. Thank you for noticing.
I would rather do the goose that was the size of the horse. I'm like Mr. de Candelier. I would make it a mount. And oh, how I would mount it.
Gross.
Anyway, Miss Bellows is ready to return, so I will turn the podium back over to her.
All right.
I hate
see
to
you
see
Sunday.
her go, but I love to watch her leave.
You're a pig.
Thank you.
I'm feeling much better now, and he is a pig. A big fat pig. Big fat brood pig.
Don't forget the undead part.
Big fat brood undead pig. Better?
I can make half of that come true for you, should you keep pressing me.
There should be a rule against making threats.
I did not make threats. This is a campaign. I make only promises. And I'm sorry,
Nice.
little dog, for scaring you with my manly forcefulness. I apologize.
Oh,
The dog leaves a trail of urine. Anyway, shall we go? Keep going.
And man, is that urine long.
All right. I only have one more question for the panel.
Please.
How will you grow roleplay for our peers out there?
I would grow roleplay through adversity, through the sharing of ideas, through the freedom to try new and interesting things. I would also encourage new people to come to all the realms, to try them out, to drive forward, and avoid the Asian MMOs, for that way lies only folly and a lot of grinding. You do not have time for that much grinding and roleplay. Vote for me. The
Well,
end.
to be fair, there was a lot of grinding. See Order of Rhyme faction.
I don't know what that is.
You don't even know the continent of Kunark in your own world? That's the problem.
I do not roll Kudark. Therefore I cannot have any sway over the scalies and the furries that reside there.
Sexist and racist. He's on a roll, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
I must agree.
Furries are not people. They're furries. Otherwise they would just be called people. Prove me wrong.
Well, he said it himself. I would foster roleplay by providing a safe and secure area for our roleplayers to grow and be encouraged to try other things like fending off player killers amongst my ranks, creating online trade organizations so they could prosper in any dealings they do. You know, responsible things.
Sounds pretty solid to me.
Ha.
I would foster and grow roleplay, much as he says, in that I would provide safe and inventive ways for people to meet and greet and get to know one another.
Is that before or after you round up your player killers?
Well, they wouldn't be harmed, mind you.
Forced labor camps in Asian MMOs is the only way.
How terrible to say.
But you did not disagree. You just said it was terrible to say.
I would never do such a thing.
You would have someone else do it for you.
It's true.
The end!
I would be open, and I would try to have as many people as possible join in the different events that our community, as our peers, would sponsor and invent. And I would encourage, I would just nurture those and try to make sure that they had an enjoyable experience. Yes.
All right. I'm going to do something a bit unusual here and open up to the panel. I'd like you guys to ask each other one question. Try to keep it tasteful. Julia.
We're looking at you, Bale.
She said your name.
I assumed she said it incorrectly.
Why? Because she's a woman?
No, because she's a moderator.
I will ask the first question. I will ask Maxim. Tell me how someone who must control everything can truly allow for the freedom of expression within roleplay.
First of all, I'm only controlled by my men by nature of rank. As for the rest, those that go against the grain, they're free to do so as long as they don't hurt the populace at large. The minute they step out of line, we'll be there. Laser rifles.
And you don't think that might frighten people from expressing themselves?
As long as they express themselves in a positive and productive way, I have no problem.
Who decides that? You?
I don't even care about the werewolf vampire hybrid idiots that lurk out there. Let them do their thing. The minute they cross the line to raiding and player killing, then we got to.
I once knew somebody that was half Deathclaw.
Oh, not those.
That is all.
So to answer your question, they're free to do whatever they want, as long as they don't fall to barber.
Fall to barbershops?
Barbarism, you twit.
Hell, you cut out. You need to learn how the button works.
We work with secondhand technology here.
Oh, very well. I believe that I shall go next. Because I volunteered. And that is how it works. So, Bale. Are you there?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, I'm still here.
Just making sure you're paying attention and not adjusting your cleavage once more. Rumors say that you had dinner with one of the cousins of the Saudi royal family. A well-known WoW player. Is there something he was after? Have you made a bargain for oil to get WoW money to him? Also, is it a ploy? Given that the currency of World of Warcraft is more than that of Venezuela, that you are there to take over that country and its people.
That's a lot of questions.
It used a lot of commas.
Did it? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I have met with many people over the course of my career, and certainly during this campaign, in order to make sure that I am best serving the needs and wants of role players in all venues, even in WoW. They do have role players there, active ones, and they were under the idea that I didn't like them simply because I come from EverQuest.
Can't imagine why.
I had to reassure them, and there is nothing wrong with that. No promises were made. I simply learned about their community.
Have you been to the Goldshire? A more wretched hive of scum and villainy there is not.
Really?
It
Because
should
I
be
heard
burned to the ground, just as I did with the Blood Haze Inn.
Your own city.
You admit that you wrecked your own city's roleplay. Wow. From the horse's mouth.
You burned down that wonderful place where everyone went.
That was terrible.
We required a parking lot for the arena venue next door that was bringing in tax money that went to little orphaned roleplay children that are conceived and then forgotten. Which happens basically every day. Also, we had more housing, and it was not required. You, role players, one and all, were already huddling inside, masturbating among yourselves.
As I understand it, many
which is very little.
Many role players lived in the Blood Haze and socialized in the Blood Haze and were very upset when their Blood Haze was ripped down and burned to the ground for a parking lot that no one used.
You would know all about socialism. You
Yes, I
communist
would.
fascist.
I'm
Now, every single one of those was given a better house, better location, or sent to your city. Because they were dweebs.
We're all dumber if you're hearing that line.
Man, I'm having a hard time understanding where your question is. I think I answered the question, didn't I, moderator?
Saudi royal family, what have they given you? Tell me!
Mr. Delir,
Yes?
are you admitting that you paved paradise and put up a parking lot?
Have you been to the Blood Haze? Paradise is not the word I would use.
Role players did.
Yes. They certainly
They
did.
did not. Besides that, the true enemy of roleplay had already ruined it. Developers, gods from on high, filled it with worthless, gibbering idiot NPCs not even my powers of persuasion could undo, which is why, as the president of the MMO multiverse, I will take the developers by the throat and demand they remove NPCs, give sittable furniture in all taverns across the land, and quit nerfing everything. The end.
I think I answered his question.
Yes, we can move on from.
I hear her kitty calling.
Meow, Lucan. Get over it.
Yes, meow indeed.
I have a question for Bellows.
Yes.
You became president of the RP multiverse. How would you defend your various realms from an incursion from the Halo universe and or the Call of Duty franchise? From player killers run amok.
I, Miss Bellows, would stand up and I would encourage our fellow RPers to rise up and defend what we believe in, what is ours, what is ours in our soul.
Will that
We
be
would
before
not let them
or after?
rule over us.
That'd be before or after your men get teabagged and laughed at and mud cakes thrown out.
That's two questions, sir. And I choose not to answer the second one.
There you go.
I will not
He has no
lower
plan.
myself.
You heard it
will
yourself.
not lower myself to such things as tea bags.
In other words, you have no plan. Marvelous.
Tea bags are what you use to make tea with.
Also known as a mushroom stamp.
What?
Hey, moderator said it, not me.
I didn't say it.
Does the panel have any more questions?
Bellows did not ask one.
It's true.
My question is for Mr. the Candelier. What was the price of EverQuest 1 when it first came out?
Ha! $59.99.
Oh, so you're too cheap to spring for the special edition, are you?
That was the base cost. Back then, when a game came out, the average price already came with enough. We got a cloth map with every expansion until the dark days. The days of Daybreak games. Ooh, Russians. Bad choices. Ah. Scary.
And yet, you're in their game. Enough said.
Yes.
Twice over, in fact.
Back when it was run by Variant and Sony Online Entertainment.
So are you saying you just up and left your game?
No. No.
Then
Dear
you're
God,
still
no.
there. You are still there. Thank you.
Which is why I am here to free my people from DBG.
Right.
The end.
The end.
Well, this has been enlightening.
It's been something.
Are we done now? Can I ride my burning mount and be gone from these, whatever they are?
The common term is people.
I was talking about you, Chesty LaRue.
I would go with your betters.
Given your grasp of the English language, I am not surprised you think that.
Oh, you are just all blow. And no go.
So is Jessica.
Ooh, you leave my sweet, sweet Jessica out of this.
I tried, but her lips are like a magnet to the dictator.
Well, I'm sure you'll have your hands full when the player killers roll in, and she'll be quite occupied.
She is quite a handful, and then some.
Okay, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. No pun intended.
Ha! I got it.
I got patrols to coordinate. Are we done with this mockery?
I am going to get some pickled halfling from Bomba for anybody that wishes to speak with me in person. Good day.
Farewell, everybody, and I hope you vote Bellows, because I am the one that will really lead the multiverse to its true greatness.
Shut up.
You have heard
cow.
everything you need to hear. Remember us and vote. Vote Antonia Bale. Thank you.
Remember, role players, democracy is non-negotiable, and it shouldn't be run by a bunch of nobles that have never had to live in the dirt like the rest. Vote Steel, vote for freedom. That's
Excellent. Thank you all. And don't forget, the Halfling Chops raffle will be drawing in about an hour. Thank you.
And thank you, Miss Moderator. Such a lovely, lovely woman.
You are quite adequate. And now, a word from our sponsor. Hey, who's there? Hey, you look like a smart guy. So tell me, Mr. Smart Guy, can you use a bit of extra dough? Yeah, of course you can. Who can, am I right? Right, yeah, you know. Hey, you look like an able-bodied voting individual between the ages of 20 and 40, so here's what I got for you, okay? You take this envelope here and go to the places I tells yous, and you use the ideas I got inside here for the envelope, and you go out and vote a few times, you know? Is it legal? Whoa, I didn't know you was a lawyer. Hey, Vinny, catch this kid over here. He thinks he's a lawyer. Yeah. All right. Look here, fry cook. You do me a solid, I do you a solid. That's how this works. So take the envelope and come back with all them voted stickers I got. And you'll get your cash. You don't look so sure still. I get you. So, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll throw in a little added bonus for you. You do this for me, and I won't break your fucking kneecaps with a crowbar. Oh, see, look at that, Vinny. He just needed a little bit more incentive, that's all. All right, now, kid, go on, get out of here. I got other people to see. Hey, there, young lady. Come here a moment. This episode of RPMMORadio is brought to you by Vote Early, Vote Often, a branch of the Marcone Family Enterprises. Remember, you're never too dead to vote. Hey, I think that sounded, whole thing sounded pretty good. Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I mean, I know who I'm voting for. I'm not telling you guys, but clearly there was one winner out of all of that.
Okay.
And that winner was not the people. I'm saying there was a winner in it. I'm not saying the people are going to win. There's no winning in an election. So, all right. Well, that was both fun and interesting, and also way off the rails.
It was actually telling.
I think it was very, very telling. So, for people interested, you can actually vote for which one of these presidential people you want to win by going over to our Discord at rpmmmoradio.com/Discord. I have just placed the voting. It's a week-long vote. It'll take place between now and the next episode on who will be the president of the multiverse. It is pinned at the top of Discord. Also, if you go to rpmmmoradio.com, there will be a link on the actual website itself that you can go there, click real quick, and take a quick vote, see who it is you want to win. I don't know who it is you're going to vote for. It's a tough decision, but all I know is that you should definitely vote, regardless of whatever affiliation or mindset you have. Because if you don't vote, you're voting still. Not to act is to act. Not to vote is to vote. I don't think there's really any other way of saying that. Now, I know we had actually a whole thing here, but honestly, there's like 10 minutes left in the show, so I say we just save that somewhat for another time. Anybody got any problems with that? We just bullshit for the last 10 minutes?
Sounds good to me.
I mean, we're going to bullshit with a purpose, but still bullshit altogether. For those that don't know, at least you Americans out there, you know who you is. Yeah, man, I sure do love tacos. I mean, man does love tacos and pretzels. Almost died on a pretzel. It's voting week this week, and it's actually, funny enough, it's sounding like it's going to be a pretty big one, at least for a midterm election. And
it is, yeah.
I know even here and from all over the country, at least although it's funny now that it's not like a week down in Texas. I know you guys do 2 weeks out. I think some places just do a week out for early voting.
Yep. I voted day one of early voting.
Yes.
Iowa's almost a month.
Yes. Good Lord. See, here's the problem I have with some of that. At least with not so much with these, it's not that big a deal, but what like the presidential election stuff, when people were early voting and then, they did it a month, 2 months out, and then by the time they got to it, it's like, all right, well, the candidate you voted for is not in the race, so now you're just not voting for anybody, really.
Yeah.
I
always wait till the week before, but
right.
You can vote up to.
Yeah.
Most people, I think, that vote really early in Iowa are straight ticket voters, so it really doesn't matter.
Right.
But I always wait till about usually a week, or I just vote on the day. But if I'm not going to be around, I vote a week ahead of time.
I like to do the day of, just because I like to see. And around here, I mean, I'm not in a major city, so the line's not 5 hours long either.
No, mine isn't.
It's at the most. I think for the, I can't remember which Obama one it was. It was 08 or 12. I think I think I waited at longest an hour, and that was at like 5:30 in the afternoon, which was
when I go in to vote. When I go in to vote, regardless of when I go in to vote, they call me by my name.
Oh, really?
Oh, we are a very small community.
No kidding. Oh, I get you.
I walk in.
I thought you were they're like serving jazz.
No, I mean, I walk in and they go, oh,
it's jazz. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't have to show anything. They just check mark me
right,
to know who my name is. It's a little scary because the first time that we went in, we'd never been in there before, and they knew who we were.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Mrs. Britton, it's so nice to see you. Your husband was here about an hour ago. Here, let's get your stuff together.
Down here in Texas.
I'm like, who the hell are you, and how do you know who I am?
Right. Oof, but...
And Jay said it was the same way. When he walked in, we'd only been living in our house for 7 months. And there was no way. I mean, I hadn't met anybody.
You were a small-ass town.
Yeah, we're very. The area that we're in is, I forget what it's called. Indian Hill. It's really kind of funny because it's terrible that it's Indian Hill and it's largely the Meskwaki.
It's a great book series by Tufo, though. There's a place somewhere in Boston called Indian Hill too, and he does a book series based off. Off that location.
It's all in this one little area community, and we all go to Montour, which is the little town that's Rube's Steakhouse, which, by the way, if you ever come this way, is the best steakhouse in Iowa. It really is. It's wild. I'll tell people I live in Montour, and they're like, "Oh, that's where Rube's is." Yeah, that's where Rube's is. Nothing else but Rube's.
It sounds like such a horrible. I'm gonna go eat. You bunch of rubes.
Bunch of rubes.
I know. Yeah. It's weird that it's such a big deal, but yeah.
We have a place out here called I Don't Know Bar and Grill.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't care.
Oh, I don't care. So that when you say, where do you want to eat? And they say, I don't care. Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
The food is actually subpar, and it's not very good. I really don't care about it. I just think the name's funny.
So listeners, you should go vote.
You should go vote.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story. It makes a big difference. And especially now, I'm not saying on what you should vote. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Presbyterian, Libertarian, the rent is too damn high party, Greenpeace, you're basically wasting your vote. Those guys are completely worthless. Or Green Party. That's it. Green Party. Yeah. Those guys are garbage. Don't worry about them. Should be like one guy out there. What do you mean? Green Party's great. Yeah.
Well, way to go. We lost that Green Party.
We lost the one Green Party guy. I don't even honestly know what they're for. I assume green vegetables is really all they're about. Yeah, it's all about vegetables, isn't it?
No, it's
the party
not.
Of vegetables.
No, it's not.
But it's green. I mean, it's not the ghost broccoli party.
I think they originally stood for something else, but now they're more libertarian, sort of. They vote for the betterment of the earth, and
yeah, they're the crappy libertarians.
No, they're not libertarians, but they are similar to them.
Yeah, just except for the part where they want regulation on anything. You know, like libertarians.
Yeah, libertarians don't want anything like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
They're like, cocaine, shoot it up.
Yeah, seriously.
Which I'm not completely against, as long as society's willing to walk over your cold, dead body as it's, twitching in the streets. But we're not at that point yet, so.
Seattle is, but hey, that's another story.
San Francisco, too, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You gotta watch for crap in the streets there.
Where they're passing out needles. That's not a good plan to give needles
not a good
to
look.
Drug addicts either, yeah. I mean,
why are our streets filling up with used needles? Gee, I wonder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do. To be fair, San Francisco does ask the drug addicts to bring the needles back so that they can be disposed of properly. But apparently, you can't trust a drug addict. I mean, right? When did that happen? Back in the 50s, you could always trust a good crackhead. I got no idea.
Gosh.
But really, when it comes down to it, regardless of what you vote for, it is a very important thing. It is kind of a mockery, and everything is gone to shit these days. But you need to come together on the things that actually matter in your lives. Voting is important, and so is politics, but it's not to the point where it's at now. It should not be the all-encompassing, all-knowing... And I didn't silence my phone. But it shouldn't be the very meaning of your life, that if you see someone and they're like, oh, you're a Democrat, or oh, you're a Republican, that person is now an enemy. That's never how it was supposed to be. You should be able to have open discourse without flinging insults and throwing mud, and you come at each other on what Washington called the battlefield of ideas. Not the battlefield of, like, Molotov cocktails and, poorly written signs.
That's the problem, man. When argument fails and you failed in your attempt, the next step is violence. Sad.
Yeah. Man,
and a lot of times people can't engage so they instantly go to that other step, and that's never the way.
Yeah, well,
have a better argument.
And on top of that, these days it's so the social media aspect of it too, where you don't let that be. I've been there too. Jazz and Sib, you guys, I went through that period where I was always, Jazz, even though we always got along, her and I had some pretty big disagreements on things, and I know Sib would see me getting ticked off and upset at things, but I've learned you're not changing minds that way. There's no, if you're starting to type out a snarky comment to somebody, I mean, unless it's really funny, just stop typing. It's what you're not changing. You're not making yourself feel better. You're not making anybody around you feel better. You're just trying to tear down another stranger. You're in whatever you're in, and he's probably in Russia as a bot that actually doesn't care about anything except sowing discord among the other countries.
Just remember the rule. Winning an argument on Facebook or any social media is like winning the Special Olympics. Ain't nobody really.
Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah.
Even if you win, you're still retarded. Yeah. I'm just going to say the socially unacceptable thing.
That's terrible.
It is terrible, but it's also sadly true. It's sadly true. Well, I mean, I could use the old term before that. Was
Please don't.
Imbecile.
I do miss the old words.
Yeah. But then imbecile was too mean, so then they moved to the medical term retarded. Now retarded's mean, so they moved to handicap. Now handicap's too cruel, so they're going to move to handy-capable, and eventually that's going to mean the exact same thing, and 40 years from now on some kindergarten gray thing, some kid's going to look to another kid when he does something dumb and be like, you're handy-capable. And they're going to have to change it to something else. That's how language works. It's really dumb.
Language is really dumb.
Especially English. Read and read. Why is that? Why is all that stuff spelled the same?
What about
English?
What about weather?
And well, at least those two are spelt differently. They just sound the same.
Well, yeah, but what about there?
Which one? There, or there?
I know, right? Drives me nuts.
Which tune in for our grammar episode of RPMMORadio. We'll tell you the difference between it's and its, there, and there, weather and weather, which and which.
Where halflings try to guess the correct usage and end up in a death pit.
And every time they get it wrong, we take a limb. A very tiny limb. So, yeah, this was really, it was just it's to mock kind of the political process in a way, because it is ridiculous. And I mean, especially when you see the debates, and they just pander, and anytime you see somebody ask a question, and if you ever hear the response to the moderator, like Yunfei asks Uni,
Yes.
ask me a question. One of the questions. Just ask me anyone. Pick one.
What is the meaning of life?
That is a very good question, Yunfei. And you know what? In this society and in these days and times, I am glad that you asked me that question. I think it is important for the children here, the children of the future, to know the answer to a question such as that of which you have asked me. Oh, and my time is up.
Yeah, for real, though.
You're not wrong.
That guy has no idea what he's doing. They're pandering.
That was hilarious.
That's called pandering. Yeah. I told you. I like politics.
That was very, very well done, too.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to run for political office, but I checked my back, and it turns out my spine's still there, so I was non-eligible.
Truth.
Yeah, unfortunately, it gets me in a lot of trouble with supervisors at work, too. Yeah. So, all right, guys. I think this was a lot of fun. I know we didn't really talk about a lot of role play. We had something, but that thing in our BS went on a little long, and I've always actually kind of wanted to do like an improv thing. Believe it or not, in this entire thing, the only thing written down were the questions. Outside of that, this could have... Actually, I'll take it back. This could be, depending on your opinion, an absolute train wreck of an episode. I don't know. I had fun doing it, maybe listening to it again, because I have to.
It was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Maybe
was fun.
it'll translate well. I'm hoping. I know Yunfei said she almost died a few times laughing, so that's always good.
Yeah.
But not to toot our own horns, so I'm gonna stop.
It took so long because that Candelier guy.
So well
long-winded.
spoken.
So full of hot air.
Spoken.
Little verbose, yeah.
I never knew when he was done or if he was just taking a pause.
Well, how could
No,
you not know
always
he
knew
was?
he was done.
He always said the end. I mean, it was pretty
The
clear.
end.
The end, except not so much.
It was kind of like listening to what the sloth at the DMV from Zootopia at times.
Flash.
Flash, yeah. How are you doing today?
Yeah. He must be part sloth.
Since you came here
Oh dear gosh, listen to this.
to see me
I'm running away. Sib's exiting
right
stage
now. So, all right. You guys have anything last things to say before we cut the show out here? I know my voice can use a rest.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated to the show. That was because, they're totally different person, obviously.
Yeah.
Clearly.
A lot of fun. Let's get back to roleplay. I think we've all been in a funk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we
Definitely.
need to get back to it.
Yeah.
Faux shizzle, as one famous rapper once said. I'm pretty sure it was Biggie Smalls. So, all right. Well, with that, go ahead and kick the music on. I
Night,
want to
guys.
thank everybody for
Later,
tuning in.
and thank
Remember,
you.
vote for Lucandelier for president of the multiverse.
No,
There
no.
are other people
That
involved,
was
but they are
the
little and
winner.
insignificant. You can do that over at RPMMORadio.com. It'll be on the front page there, or RPMMORadio.com/Discord. If you're already in the Discord server, in the general channel, click on the little pin at the top. It is already pinned. Nope. Yep, there it is. Pinned there. If I'm in the right channel myself, it says presidential election. Fairly easy to figure out. So with that, I want to thank my crew, Jazz, Sib, Strafe, and Uni. I, of course, am Ashen Phoenix. And tune in next time as we see the result of the vote of halfling rights to ride roller coasters when you can only be this tall. Next time on RPMMO Radio. Good night, everybody! The thoughts and opinions of those on RPMMO Radio are just that and should not be taken as the gospel truth, but pretty close to it. Music, as always, is provided by Husky by the Geek. Visit him at youtube.com/HuskyByTheGeek to hear all his great video game rock covers and original music.